Justice Secretary Laila de Lima says the government wants to speed up convictions in the 2009 Maguindanao massacre. There are fears a trial in the country's worst election-related massacre could drag on for years. De Lima says the government wants judgments against the Ampatuan clan accused of the murder of 58 people in 2009. She says, quote, the marching orders of the president is that during his term up to 2016, there's got to be convictions. The prosecution presented evidence and testimonies of 130 witnesses to pin down clan patriarch Andal Ampatuan Sr. and other family members for the massacre. De Lima says the government sees the Ampatuan massacre, quote, as the single most important case that has to be resolved to show the public it's serious in ending impunity. She says, quote, if we fail to get convictions, the public will be very disappointed because that will mean that wheels of justice in this country really grind so slowly. The Ampatuans allegedly ordered the massacre to stop political rival Toto Mangudadatu from running against one of its members for governor of Maguindanao. Andal Ampatuan Jr. allegedly led his clan's private army in waylaying a convoy carrying his rival's wife, relatives, lawyers, and 32 journalists, and then gunning them down on a grassy hill. Let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 1, opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim suffers bitter defeat as Malaysia's ruling coalition dominates hard-fought elections Sunday. The ruling Barisan Nasional coalition, led by Prime Minister Najib Razak, gets 133 seats, maintaining a firm majority of the 222-member parliament. But Anwar refuses to concede, calling the polls, quote, fraudulent. Some voters accuse Barisan of cheating, partly because the indelible ink used to mark those who voted washed off easily. Video, pictures, and accounts of, quote, foreign voters being confronted by concerned citizens also went viral. At number 3, a United Nations human rights investigator says the UN Independent Commission on Syria has testimony that rebel forces in Syria's civil war used the nerve agent sarin. Commission member Carla Del Ponte says there are, quote, strong concrete suspicions but not yet incontrovertible proof that banned chemical weapons were used. Government forces and rebels accuse each other of using chemical weapons in 3 separate attacks. President Barack Obama earlier said the use of chemical weapons by President Bashar al-Assad's government would cross, quote, a red line. And at number 5, 10 people were killed and hundreds injured as police clashed with thousands of Islamists in Dhaka, Bangladesh. Police say about 200,000 people marched to central Dhaka, where clashes erupt between rock-throwing protesters and security officials. The rally is the latest in a series of mass actions by the newly created Islamist group Hefajat. Critics call the group's demands a charter for turning Bangladesh into a Taliban-ruled Afghanistan. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. As Filipinos endure the summer heat, a Filipino-American scientist deals with the months of darkness, sub-zero temperatures, and isolation. Katie Suarez reports.
This is Blaise Cuotiong, and welcome to his office. Since November, Cuotiong has been working at the IceCube South Pole Neutrino Observatory, a research center located at the southernmost point of the planet. The South Pole Observatory uses a detector buried deep in the ice to study neutrinos. These are nearly massless subatomic particles created as a result of radioactive decay. Also called the Earth's most elusive particle, neutrinos give scientists an insight into cosmic events, including solar activity, supernovas, and the Big Bang. This helps us understand our universe better.
Basically, what I do on a daily basis is IceCube is searching for neutrinos, and our detector needs to be running all the time, like 24/7, and we have to keep it going pretty much all the time because you don't want to miss something that happened. So we have to keep the thing running constantly, and me and my partner Felipe are basically on call for a whole year to make sure that the whole detector is running and keeping data.
He is one of a total of 44 winter overs, or scientists and support staff who stay to do research during the winter season at the Amundsen Scott South Pole Station.
We have, other than that, we have machinists, we have mechanics, cooks, a doctor, and a physician's assistant, and pretty much everything you would need to run like a small city.
Working at one of the coldest environments on the planet isn't easy. Isolated from the rest of humanity from February to November, they have to endure high altitudes, the lack of sunlight, blizzards, and freezing temperatures.
Your body just naturally adapts to it. And actually, the one thing that affects most people is altitude. We're here at almost 10,000 feet, and the first week you get here, you can barely do any work because you're always short of breath. But gradually you get used to it, and it's not so bad anymore.
To kill time, they have a range of options from board games to movie nights.
But right now it's too cold, so most of the activities we do indoors. Like we have a big gym here where we can play a lot of sports. We spend a lot of time watching movies or playing video games or board games. A couple of weeks ago, I found some beans and created and made a sungka board.
Internet and satellite phones provide them links to the outside world.
The only thing is that our connection is a little bit slow, and there's a lag because the connection has to go up the satellite and back down.
Yeah.
And it's limited because we only get about 14 hours of coverage a day.
Despite being so far away from civilization, Blaze says he loves the challenges brought by his stint at the South Pole.
For me, it's really exciting to work on these computers. And being down here, the two of us who are down here are responsible to fix anything that happens, predictable or unpredictable. There's nobody here, you're cut off from the rest of the world. Mm-hmm. I think everybody would say that is the appeal. That's why we're here, is because of that. It's you have to rely on your own or the other 43 people to solve any situation that can come up.
Katie Suarez, Rappler, Manila.
American boxer Floyd Mayweather Jr. maintains his unblemished record by fending off a strong start from Robert Guerrero in their WBC welterweight title fight in Las Vegas. Coming off a long layoff, Mayweather sweeps the scorecards 117-111. He keeps his perfect record at 44-0 with 26 knockouts while sending Guerrero to his first loss since 2005. In basketball, LeBron James wins his fourth NBA Most Valuable Player award in 5 years. James averaged 26.8 points, 8 rebounds, and 7.3 assists as he leads the Miami Heat to a 27-game winning streak and the best record in the NBA 2013 regular season. They will face the Chicago Bulls in the second round of the NBA playoffs. Every story on Rappler has a mood meter. It gives you 8 emotions to choose from. Click how you feel and your vote comes down to the Mood Navigator. That's the middle of the front page, which crowdsources the mood of the day. It also gives you the top 10 stories that have gotten the most votes on their mood meters. These are the 10 stories that affected Filipinos, our readers, emotionally. If we take a look today, it is a green day. 10 things to remember exactly a week before Election Day. 10 things to remember on Election Day. 55% inspired, 24% amused, 17% happy. Story that broke just at the end of last week, the strange story of Lauren Legarda's Sal ends. Strangely, 44% inspired, 36% annoyed, and 11% angry. And the story that's gotten the most number of votes in our mood meter is written by a Filipino-American who's just arrived in the Philippines. Why I Left America for the Philippines. That's by Ryan Macasero. He's just moved to the Philippines for Rappler. His story is 59% inspired, 25% happy, 3% angry, and 2% afraid. That large green, though, that you see shows you today most people are inspired. Well, that's Rappler's Newscast for today, Monday, May 6, 2013. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.